Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully and welcome back to part numero 2 of Burning Rangers. And I'm completely bugging up rolling my R's. Anyway, we are now entering the second segment, where we get closer to the core. And, yeah, one thing I want to point out right now, though some voice lines do play, like, in terms of gameplay, I'm gonna let some of those play, at least in regards to whether or not I deem them story important. So yeah, I do apologize if there's like a segment of gameplay I'm not talking over, even though that's probably what a lot of people prefer, because whenever you hear some dicko going, oh hey everybody, this is, fucking Death Angel 61, talking over video games, people are immediately turned off, depending on whether or not they like them, but, heck, whatever. I mean, if people can put up with fucking Twitch streamers who occasionally, like, cough or, you know, go full-on energetic and like, hey, dickhead, fuck nugget, thanks for giving me money, so, do more of that, because I'm a lazy bitch who literally wants to snort all the cocaine and not be cynical. But in any case, like, I mean, another thing I will praise the game for is, again, you do get a large variety of characters that you meet. Again, you get kids, you get adults, children, teenagers, and even old people like, Mr... what's his name? James Green. By the way, I think it might be in the space station level, or it might be in the water park, but, yeah, you can apparently find, Yuji Naka in one of these levels. I don't know if the character model they use is specifically modeled after him, but, yes indeed, we can confirm that Mr. Yuji Naka is alright. Which also brings me to another aspect of the, like a little bit of a story thing, is that, in the main menu, when you rescue survivors, once you complete the levels, you can actually go into the little fan mail segment, and you'll basically get a little message from each of the people you save, giving their thanks to the Burning Rangers, or having a little, correspondence with them. It's not much, and it's kind of vestigial, but it's a lot more than what I would have expected, and does add a little bit of personality, like, you know. Again, what you're doing is having an effect on the world, which, again, is relatively small, but you know what, it's nice, and I really appreciate that.
This is Reed. I'm in the central control room. I'll release all the control valves at once.
Good job, Reed.
Of course.
Reed, what happened?
Chris, the energy generator just kicked in.
The central computer just canceled the command locally. What's this? I'm getting life force readings near the computer. You're the closest. Check it out. Copy that.
Yeah, another thing I kind of got to point out, well, first of all we have the music. You'll notice that a majority of levels are kind of silent, save for the odd occasions like right now where after a dramatic scene happens where you tend to get a little bit more music in. Again, it was kind of there to add to the sort of realistic tone, well, realistic in quotation marks, like say less realistic, more, neutral tone, for the lack of a better phrase. Like, I mean, fire is dangerous, and again, I don't know, it gives the levels a bit of extra punch that I think had music been added, it would have been, you know, taken away. Again, I've seen a lot of people get kind of mixed on that, like a lot of people would have preferred like a little bit more actionized kind of music, but I don't know, like, I mean, there's something about Burning Rangers tone-wise that just hits the right balance between, you know, anime vibrancy and, like, well, I suppose, like, having a little bit more tension to it. Again, I can completely understand why people wouldn't like the fact that there isn't music there, but I don't know, it makes it feel a bit more unique and stand out compared to most of its contemporaries, which probably would have had to artificially heighten excitement through music, which, it sounds like a very cynical thing to say, but at the same time, like, I mean, I don't know, it just seems to fit the tone and atmosphere of Burning Rangers more than it would, you know, a typical action game, like if you were playing fucking, what can I think of? Mega Man X7? Or something or other? I don't know. The point is, I kind of appreciate it. Another thing I was going to talk about initially as well, as you saw with the cutscene with Reed before, is the sound mixing. It's a little bit pish in this game, which isn't as bad as you might think. I mean, I can still make it out, but bear in mind this is also a little bit before we had subtitles as like a standardized thing for video games, so yeah, voices can be a little bit hard to hear at times. But again, I mean, I think it just kind of goes how far we've come in terms of making subtitles a very standardized thing. Which, I mean, again, I did kind of poke fun at this in the review, but, yeah, Chris's audio navigation, unique selling point of the game because, you know, voice acting was kind of a big thing and a revolutionary kind of thing for games at this point. Not exactly something that's going to make you a very big seller among the, hearing-impaired crowd. Well, I mean, not that you're going to be hearing this anyway, so I really don't know what the fuck you're complaining about. I can insult them all they want and they'll never be able to know. Unless somebody tells them. Which you ain't. aren't you, viewer? Because if you tell those deaf people about what I'm saying about them, then you's about to get deaf yourself when I rip your fucking ears off.
To a doctor.
But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that, yeah, sound mixing is just kind of muddled. I mean, you can still relatively hear them. I kind of compare it to the Dreamcast editions of Sonic Adventure 2, really, where the sound mixing is, again, like, I mean, there are sound effects playing over it, but again, you can still make out the dialogue. And I mean, none of the voice actors in this game ever have the David Humphries problem, where, like, they're so soft-spoken that you can't make them out. So again, it's fine, just could have been a bit better, and maybe something that a Dreamcast port of Burning Rangers could have fixed, but sadly we never got a port, whether to HD consoles or to anything else. Why exactly, I have no idea, since I mean you could pretty much just port games like Sonic R or well, not Sonic 3D Blast, what was the other example? Oh yes, Nights into Dreams, onto the PlayStation 1, but who knows really. Then again, I suppose those two games also have very specific caveats, because, like, I mean, when it comes to Sonic R, they usually port the PC version, and when it comes to Nights, there was actually a PlayStation 2 remake of that game. That is the one that I believe they ported to HD consoles, but, yeah. I don't know. I might get into some of the Sega Saturn's hardware issues, well, quote-unquote issues. There's actually been a very big divide between that, because, like, I've seen people say that the Saturn was hard to develop for, but then we have, John Burton of Traveller's Tales, who said that the Sega Saturn was a wonderful console to work for and was like a box of tricks that, again, if you had the know-how to do, you can make some pretty cool stuff. So, I'm honest to God struggling to wonder here, is it like the competency of the developers to use the Saturn's hardware kind of the problem here, or is it just the fact that people were too lazy and just found the PS1 or PC editions of games to be easier to develop for? Because I'm honest to God struggling to really see what exactly will make Sega Saturn games hard to port, because, like, I mean, I don't think it's anything akin to the 32X where the hardware's so ancient that it's difficult to find specific processors and shit that would make it difficult to port, so, again, I really don't know. I don't know. Again, I suppose popularity, reception, and nostalgia factor probably is also another factor, and the reason why Burning Rangers isn't really as widely distributed or well known enough to, I guess, convince Sega that, you know, they can make their money back by giving this a, you know, a port towards modern systems. Or at the very least in terms of, like, trying to get the emulation right. But I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, if we can have some half-decent emulation for the likes of, you know, Sonic R and stuff like that, why not Burning Rangers? I really don't know. Well, I mean, that being said, though, in terms of more recent Burning Rangers news, there was actually that, I think it was either Unreal or the Unity Engine remake of Burning Rangers that, you know, dizzied up a bit of the lighting effects, and in terms of translating the gameplay, like, I mean, it seemed to look pretty one-for-one, so, like, I mean, I can't imagine it'd be that difficult to maybe do something akin to the Panzer Dragoon port they made a couple of years ago, or was it rather recently? Whatever, close enough. But, I mean, I don't know, I'm just talking out of me sweet spot, me buttocks, one might say. Yes, we can count on you, Tillis. Well, except for we can't, because we have no Burning Ranger sequel. No hope. But I mean, at this point I'm really just sort of, padding for time, really. Yeah, to talk about very level-specific hazards, one specifics to each stage. The stage, pretty much has the explosive barrels. Now again, you might think that you want to avoid piercing them, but, again, I really find them only a little bit more useful if you're looking to get the limit meter down. So again, you cause explosions to extinguish explosions, and that's really there to help you, well, your ranking, really. So, yeah, like, I mean, you cause damage to extinguish damage, which seems a bit counterintuitive as a Burning Ranger, because you would think that you'd want to stop that, but then of course we get back to the whole crystal debacle. Again, you want to get crystals to help teleport away survivors, and you want to improve your overall ranking, so, it's a bit of a conflict of interest, really. But I mean, I don't know. It's a very level-specific hazard. Again, you're gonna make sure that you don't get caught in like that, otherwise you're losing all your crystals, and, well, you is just plain fucked up. So, don't do that. But yeah, to digress a moment, each level has very specific hazards, and, this is that. And now we can finally stop talking.
Found a survivor. Hey, can you get up?
What are you doing? Do something about that monster.
What?
This is bad.
Tillis, set the doctor's coordinates immediately. Your priority is to secure the doctor's safety.
Roger, set coordinates.
Hurry, get out of here.
Confirming transport coordinates. Begin transport. Transport confirmed. Hey, what are you doing?
Listen to me, young lady. We've been experimenting with genetically altering an extinct species of flower. It mutated and destroyed quicker than expected. That thing has taken control of the central computer. If you destroy the core of the mutated plant, all its roots will wither and the computer will be restored to normal, I hope.
The core is located in the farthest room. Hurry.
Run!
Sorry about the horrible abridging there, there was really no other way I could really, kind of talk about those without at least going into a bit of a silent mode, because again, I had very plot-specific details about, you know, the flower they were working on, which again, if I could talk about it for a little bit, is, yeah, and well, I think it was a reference that came back, I think in Phantasy Star Online for the Dreamcast and Shadow the Hedgehog. Well, Shadow the Hedgehog specifically because it was a fire-breathing enemy that, well, really wasn't given as much importance as it should have been, really. But like, I mean, if we are going to go for our whole little Sega multiverse theory, is this meant to mean that the Black Arms invasion took place here? Does this take place in, like, the Sonic Adventure games? Who knows? Possibly. I don't really know. But in any way, this one is a lot more powerful and, well, something that has a few more attack patterns than what the flower in Shadow the Hedgehog had. But we'll see that right now. It actually has some pretty good boss build-up, actually, I must say. But yeah, it fires out blue flames, which are much more powerful. Again, it does also, it pretty much mixes all the fire elements together, really. Like, I mean, it has the blue flames, which are much stronger, but it also has those little green flames that launch out at you. So again, you've pretty much just got to watch out for its refuse. It's a main fire pillar, obviously, and again, it has also little shockwave attacks. So again, when it comes to boss fights, like, I mean, they're not the most brain-taxing thing. I mean, it is pretty much a case of just shoot the thing. But again, Burning Rangers just has a really good habit of keeping you on your feet and making you feel really reactive and, I don't know, just constantly going up and about the world. So, again, you're doing a lot in this game, and it's just really fun to play. And, like, I mean, I think even from a viewing experience, you know, ever in the parallel of games that look more fun to play than it is to watch, I think even when it comes to just watching the game, Burning Rangers is just a really fun, entertaining game to watch. People pulling off some sick moves and just jumping about, blowing the shit up out of bosses, and promptly extinguishing the fires. It's a little bit weird, but hey, that was just their little twist on the action genre. Rather than causing the explosions, you must extinguish them. For we are heroes, not action man, police, military guy.
Whoa, the heat has gotten to me. Look at me sweating like a pony. You know what I need right now? A hot shower.
Well done, Rangers. Let's leave the rest to the cleanup crew.
The energy plant control unit is back to normal, and the people we rescued are checking out fine at the medical center. We are returning back to base.
Good job.